So, the last topic that we will have for today is about self-development. This will be the introduction and goals and fundamentals as to why I want to share it with you. So, I'm not a psychologist, and normally those people who are psychologists or therapists are learning about this because this is part of human behavior. But I simply would like to be, I'm really interested in the human behavior, and now I am following a course online, and I would like to share it with you because I believe when we understand how human behavior is, when we understand why we are what we are, then we will be able to conquer a lot when it comes to human nature, right? Are you ready? Okay. So first one is the goals of this training. So the first goal of this training is to increase understanding of ourselves, others, and the world around us. So as I've said, if we cannot understand the way around us, we cannot win. We cannot be successful. We cannot go out of our comfort zone, and we cannot have our own identity. You know what I find here in Atomy business is that at the beginning, we are really so pushing hard to do the Atomy business until we get like woof, go down, um, having low self-esteem, low motivation because we didn't really understand who we are, right? We didn't yet go out of our comfort zone. That's why we are having a lot of setbacks, a lot of excuses to do the Atomy business. Okay. And next one is we wanted to know, the goal is also to see the past illusions. We as human, we are driven by our past, correct? Do you agree with me? We think about what happened before and blame it to the past, like who's guilty. So for example, I didn't finish my study because my parents, they wanted me to take up this course and I didn't like it. That's why I didn't finish my study, and I until now I don't have any certificates or any degree, my master's degree, and so on and so forth, because we still blame who we are from the past, which is actually we shouldn't do. And next is understand why we are the way we are. Sometimes, for myself, for example, personal experience, we put too much pressure, too much blame on ourselves. Why are we feeling demotivated? Why do we think deeply about others' judgment? Right? Going to be successful, we have to learn how to be lonely, because success is quiet. Success is, you have to what you have to go in between the hole of the needle. You have to succeed even if no one is watching. But at the beginning, we will not be able to understand it if we do not understand why are we the way we are. So that is also one of the goals of this program. And then this is really the most interesting topic that I really want to share later on. How to release old pain from the past. Excuse me for my for my writing. It has a T, but maybe I just didn't press the T, the spelling. Okay. So I would like to tell you now that you are not your past. Okay, I'm going to repeat. You are not your past. But as human, we don't know how to release ourselves from the past. But let me inform you that everything is connected into the brain. We just have to teach our brain how to be disciplined and how to release our old pain from the past. And through this program, you will be able to know that. We will learn all together. And lastly, using this new awareness to help ourselves and to help others. So, as you understand the way you do, right? You free yourself to be more motivated and more successful in life. As we understand everything in us, as we find the way how we really are, when we unleash the best version of ourselves, we can also influence others to be better and to be the best version of themselves. So I often hear, like, if some people go to the education center, they're so happy because they are around the circle of all the positive people. So if we understand how we are, we can also let other people feel. So it's like a sponge, or it's like an injection to other people. We inject our possible positivity to others so that they could also be the same. And if they will be positive themselves, they will be able to become successful in every part of their life, or in every journey that they are tackling in their lives, like atomy. So, first thing is, people are simple. We just complicate people, right? We complicate people. Why? Because first of all, we lack we are lack of understanding of why we are the way we are. So as I've said a while ago. And second of all, this is layers of BS. What is BS? It's a belief system. So in psychology, a belief system refers to set of principles, values, attitudes, and assumptions that a person holds to be true. These systems shape how individuals perceive the world, make decisions, and interpret experiences. Belief systems are influenced by a combination of culture, personal experiences, family, religion, and cognitive development. So I will give you an example. In the Philippines, we have lots of superstition that as we grow older, we are still carrying it. When we are eating, for example, in a typical Filipino family, when we have guests and we are eating around the table and someone has to leave, our elders say that we should twist our plate when someone is leaving to avoid bad luck. And even now that we are grown up, some people they're still doing it because we adopted it from our elders, and we didn't teach our brain, for example, on how to detach from this superstition, because everything that our elders say are true for us, right? But of course, some are not, some are true. It just depends on how we will be able to discipline our brain. Because as I've said, everything is connected into our brain. So this is the first major psychological concept that I would like to share with you. We are driven with pain and pleasure. Have you heard about it before? Yeah? Have you heard about it? Anyone? Yes? No? No? Or first time? Okay. Do you believe that people moves towards pleasure and away from pain? Do you agree? Right? So, like an example, if we have a problem, we don't often face our problem, we just run away from it because it will give us pleasure. It will not give us headache. It will not make us cry. So we just forget, the problem and jump to another thing so that we can experience pleasure. But what I've learned during this program that I'm really, really, really focusing on to learn is that we should never run away from the problem. Why? We should not avoid it. Because our brain will always trigger us that if we have a problem, oh, we have to jump out of it. So therefore, we are not teaching our brain to overcome this problem. So later on, when another problem arises, yeah, we cannot solve it because what our brain knows is just to run away from it. So there is a popular theory. You can search it. It's the psychologist Skinner's theory. So he said here that pleasure is a positive reinforcement. What do I mean by that? This is a rewarding or a pleasant consequence that increases the likelihood that a behavior will happen again. So for example, getting praise after helping someone, encouraging more helping behavior. So for example, when we want to carry a box, right, and other people say, oh, okay, I want to help you, I will carry it with you because it will ease, it will be faster and it will be very helpful for you. So if you show this kind of act, you will be triggered to help this person again, right? Or this person in return will help you because you helped him. So it's the kind of pleasure that we get if we get praise. And of course, when we get helped, we are tend to say thank you and we wanted to do more to this person because we received the help from this person. And then according to Skinner, it's also pain, right? What does it mean by pain? Pain, it's a punishment. An unpleasant consequence decreases the likelihood of a behavior. So, just a simple example. If we touch a hot stove, we say like, ouch, pain, right? And it teaches our brain to not touch it again because we experience pain. So I will give you another example. Boyfriends and girlfriends, very typical. When we get to a heartbreak, right? We cry, 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 cry. It's so painful. And then later on, okay, I'm not gonna talk to this person anymore. We are teaching our brain that, hey, because I experienced pain, I don't wanna go back there again. Okay, so we move forward. And there are actually two major fears in life. Okay? So the fear of dying and the fear of public speaking. Actually, the fear of public speaking, I was like thinking, okay, why fear of public speaking? But I will tell you why. So first of all, the fear of dying. Why people are afraid of dying? Because dying is the fear of the unknown. Death is mysterious and final. The brain is wired to fear the uncertain, especially when we can't control or predict it. Correct? Do you agree with me? Yeah, we cannot predict when we will die, right? But everyone will go to it. Everyone will get older. For myself, I'm afraid, of course, I'm afraid to die. I'm afraid to be sick, and I'm afraid to be old. Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of because I don't want to live in nursing homes. I don't want it. And the second one is the fear of public speaking. Why are we so afraid of public speaking? Glai, why do you think we are afraid of public speaking?
We're afraid to judged by someone. Also, we are afraid to be criticized and make mistakes.
Correct, definitely. Thank you very much, Glyza. Yes, that's very correct. People are afraid of public speaking because we have a lot of fear of social judgment, right? When people in a social community judge us, it creates us social anxiety. So sometimes when we get judged, we just don't want to go out of the house. Or if someone, when we introduce a product to others and say, like, I use another product, I'm already beautiful, I don't need it, then we get to have a low self-esteem, then we don't want to do it anymore. But the thing is, we have to teach our brain. We have to be disciplined in ourselves that if we were judged by other people, we should just let go of it and do it again until our brain get used to it. Okay? And the next one is the fear of embarrassment or failure. Of course, everyone is afraid to fail. We are afraid to be looking so fool in front of other people. We are afraid to be embarrassed. And we are afraid because we are lack of control. And we will have the fight or flight response. So public speaking triggers the same physiological response as real danger. Like when we are asked to speak in front of the public, our hearts are racing, right? We have sweaty palms. In my experience, I have sweaty palms and my underarm is also sweaty, right? So it's the same physiological response. We have dry mouth. So I believe Diamond Master Melba Van Mechelen, when you were speaking, you are also having the tendency of having a dry mouth and the voice is being husky, right? And lastly, we are having shaky voice, right? This is very interesting, right? Once we know how we are, why are we so afraid? How we will teach our brain to become more independent and how we will be overcoming fear, then I bet you we will also overcome all the challenges in Atomy. So let us learn together every week. If you will not be able to attend, I will put it on the YouTube channel so you will be able to read it again or watch it again while you are at work. So next topic that we will have next week, very interesting. Understanding how feelings work and how you can use this. What is thoughts, what are thoughts, what are feelings, what are emotions, different type of emotions, and how you will be able to overcome these feelings of anger, sadness, and so on. For me, it's very interesting. I hope it's also very interesting for you.